To book an asset, you will want to make sure that the asset is available for the date and time that the client is asking for. In order to see the availability of the asset, you must be in a specific view on the schedule. First things first, click on the schedule to enter it. On the schedule page, as we previously mentioned in our course, it has to be in a specific view. The view would have to be on the right hand side. We need to make sure we're on the calendar view. And to the right of that, the three little dots for the settings filter. If we click on that and we go down, you will now see on the bottom there's a view mode of location, staff, and assets. Another thing that I want to point out is currently we're on the day view. So we're on the day view and the calendar view. Let's take a look. If we go ahead and leave it as a calendar view, but if we go into a week view, let's see what that happens. So we click on this, now we go back into the settings filter. We no longer have the option to change the view from either a staff mode, a location mode, or an asset mode. So the specific view for us to see the availability of an asset must be in a day view and the calendar view. So if we go back into the settings filter now, on the bottom, we're going to change the view mode to asset. So instead of displaying the staff's name on the top, if I change it over, it should now display our asset names on the top. So if you take a look, I have my Blue Studio A, Green Studio A, Spin Bikes. Obviously, if the assets are not part of a specific location and my filter maybe on the left hand side is only looking at a specific location, I won't be able to see those assets. So from here, similar to appointment bookings, if you see that the shade here on the background is this whitish gray color, and on the bottom here you'll see this good yellowish. Those are the available hours versus the unavailable hours that were set for the asset. So in this case, let's say somebody wants to rent out the Blue Studio A on the 21st today. What I can do is I can go to the right date, go to Blue Studio A. Let's say they want to rent it for 5 p.m. I can see that it is available. Now, if there were any classes, events, appointments, or somebody else had booked the studio on its own and it was occupied at 5 p.m., you will see that specific booking here already. In this case, since it's blank, I know that it's available. I can go ahead and left click on the time slot, and then we'll go ahead and go with book an asset. And from here, the date, again, date and time is already done for me. If we need to set it up as a recurring booking, we can go ahead and go back to step one to edit that. If not, we're going to make it simple. We're going to keep it as just for today. Again, if it's an existing client, I can go ahead and search for them. If not, I can add them as a new client. Let's just say I'm going to add them as a new client. We're going to go with Pamela, and we're going to go with Jones. Pamela Jones. So you'll see there's a little red asterisk, meaning that we've marked this as mandatory fields for the staff to fill in on behalf of the client. So let's make sure we fill them all in. Okay, maybe there's a phone number that's required. We can maybe add something. Only if it is, right? You'll notice it's not mandatory, so we didn't have to fill it in. I'm just going to do it. For under additional information, we can also quickly scan to see what may be mandatory. Okay. From here, once we're done, we can go ahead and add the client. So we've successfully created a new client profile in our system. From here, we're going to go next. And also step 3 is done for us already because we've already selected the specific asset. So once this is booked, you're going to go ahead and see here it is now booked for Pamela Jones. Similar to appointments, if it has not been paid, the icon here on the top right will display as red. So if I click back onto this asset booking, just like we do for a appointment, you'll see all the same options, right? Rescheduling it, early cancel, late cancel, no show, email or SMS. I can see that she has not paid for this yet. If there were any note taking made available, we can go ahead and take notes for this. In this case, Pamela has not paid yet, so we need to take the payment. We can just go ahead and click on store. It's going to go ahead and redirect us to the store, and then from here I'm going to choose just the one drop-in rate that I've created. So we're going to add to cart and then proceed to checkout. Okay, let's choose cash, complete this. Once that's done, that's it. I can go right back to the schedule. And from here, you'll see the icon now has turned to green. Now, in the event that there were different durations, maybe you've made the Blue Studio that can be rented for half an hour versus 1 hour versus 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, During the booking process, you could have edited this. Along with it, we actually go back into reschedule here. You'll see here under number 2 now, Blue Studio, if there were different durations, we could have gone in and selected whether it was 1 hour they wanted, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then obviously the price associated to our setup. And that's it. That's how you would make an asset booking.